Good evening, folks, and welcome to the Monday weekend wrap-up. I'm cartwheelchamp. Joining us today, as always, we have Milo the First. Milo, how you doing?
I'm alright. I'm adjusting my.
Nice. Milo's just his camera, and we have Hoff as well. Hoff, how you doing, man?
Hey, good. How are you?
Doing pretty good. We are in the summer, guys. We have something like 25 days till preseason begins, so that's good. A lot of stuff to look forward to. Hold on. My bad. What we were mentioning just a second ago is a game called Battle Bits, or was it Battle Bots? Battle Bit
Remastered.
It's taking over. It's taking over the internet right now. It's the new game.
Is it crossplay?
I don't know. I think it's only PC.
No, it doesn't yet.
It's an independent game. Oh, wow. Look at this. Okay, sorry. You know that I was just doing a trivia before the show started, and it was the 2004 France Euro final team. And I was typing into chat Caramba, but it's actually Kerembu.
Christian Carambou. Carambou.
Was he a center back?
I think he was like a DMF.
Okay, so that's probably who the other person is. And it's funny because, you know what? I'm just going to start off with a graphic, okay? I have a graphic that I'd like to share with you guys. You might have to look. I'll post it in Discord as well. How about that? So you guys can look at it. Here, let me post it in Discord. Then I'll show the stream. Here's the picture. Let's see here. How do I show the stream now?
Where am I looking in Discord?
Oh, I just sent it to our group chat.
Oh, gotcha.
There it is. Look at that. And look who's on that list. Christian Carambou, right there. Boom.
Yeah.
I don't know why I pulled this up. Oh, I don't know. It's just Julian Alvarez has won the Champions League and the World Cup winner. These are people who have done it. So I'm just going to go to this real quick and type in Karam. Oh, no, it doesn't fit. Okay, it wasn't Carambou. All right, anyway.
I would like to know who out of those players played the most minutes in the Champions League final that they won. And I want to know if Alvarez is at the bottom of that list.
I think he is. Milo, you were a young man when that Bayern team was playing, right? I'm guessing, right?
Which one are we talking?
Uli Hoeneß, Gerd Müller, Beckenbauer, Schwarzenbeck.
I wasn't alive in 1973.
Paul Breitner, man, that's a team.
I was born in 1981.
Okay. Anyways, yeah, that's an interesting. I just saw Christian Carambou. I was trying to figure out his name earlier, but anyways, all right.
Yeah, Carambou, I'm very familiar with.
Yes, I'm familiar with. I'm somewhat familiar with him. Obviously, it's pre-2006, so I'm kind of useless. But
yeah,
I know he was a player, a beast of a player for Madrid. All right, guys, let's get into some stuff to talk about this week. Let's talk about some competition stuff. There was actually some competitive games going on. We had Nations League conclusions in both UEFA and CONCACAF. If there was one in Africa or Asia, I have no idea about it. I don't think there was one in CONMEBOL. But the USA, let's talk about USA. We are based out of the USA, guys. We are the USA's premier independent talk show, I'm guessing. I'm just going to go ahead and guess that,
Yep.
USA beat Canada in the final after beating Mexico in the semifinal. In that Mexico semifinal, 4 red cards shown. McKennie with a ripped shirt, pretty epic, I thought. Mexico have now fired their manager, Diego Coca, after only 6 months in charge. The national team director, Rodrigo Ares de Parga, was also fired on Monday. And the FMF said, less than a month after I took over in search of a new future of Mexican football. This is after the World Cup group stage. They had a big change in Mexican league structure and all this stuff. I don't know the details. I'd have to ask a Mexican expert on that, Mexican league expert. But they changed a lot of things about their league structure. I remember. And the new guy in charge, Rodriguez, last name Rodriguez. I don't have his first name. He took over in search of new football. I realized that they weren't going to find it in our current state. Over the last week, I noticed many deficiencies in planning, logistics, and management, and a lack of leadership at many levels. So that's a pretty quick change for Mexico there. 6-month deal. You know, that's not what you want to see in a new era, or like not era, but like a new regime. You know, you don't want to see such quick. It's like, you know, you say you're gonna back Arteta, and after 6 months you fire him. It's that's not how it works. But anyways, good game there. Balogun, your boy Marilo, made his debut. Reina,
Saw that.
Giovanni Reina had a great game. Alfonso Davies on the Canadian side, just kind of felt like, just a superstar among farmers or something. Maybe that's harsh. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. General thoughts on the CONCACAF Nations League, Hoff? I know you're a big USA follower.
Yeah, just the Davies, just to start with that.
Yeah.
I kind of feel bad for him, but there have been like so many other players. Bale is the one that pops into my mind. Bale, Giggs, like Welsh players normally.
Oh yeah.
Are the ones that pop into my mind. They're just like generational, all-time greats, and not saying that Davies is on that level. He certainly has the potential to be. It's hard to make a huge, massive impact just where the position he plays. But anyways, yeah, it just reminds me of Wales throughout the years. But Canada's mostly relevant now, which is good. It's good for the region because it's boring if you're just watching whoever the third team is to get into the World Cup, because you always counted on Mexico and the US to get in there, and then Costa Rica, Jamaica, whoever it has been over the past few World Cups. Trinidad got in recently, Canada most recently. Yeah, so I'm glad that Canada's more relevant, but I don't know if their quality overall is going to be enough to hold that spot like that, because I would put them at, well, I don't know, Mexico's pretty bad right now. So I would put them like that 2-3 spot with wherever you want to put them, and Mexico at 2-3. Yeah, that's where I would have Canada. But that being said, I'm glad Balogun got a goal. Yeah, that's all I have to say about him.
Great feed by Gio.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
Giovanni Reina, man.
Gio looked good.
You shared something about Gio that apparently Dortmund are trying to offload Giovanni Reina for around 20 million, something like that. That's what the report says, which I immediately thought, like, that is an insane price for him. But when you really sit down and think about it, just injuries, man. He's just never available,
Yep.
So you never know. I could see him ending up at City or something. He kind of, if people like City fans try to make the comparison of KDB with Zinedine Zidane. I think Gio's more Zidane-like than KDB. Okay, look, I'm not saying he's accomplished as much, but he's so smooth and he's so tall.
Yeah.
That is really a unique combo. I think. I don't know, Milo. Is that too far?
Yeah, listen, you want to be excited about one of your young talents. I totally understand and can appreciate that. But yeah, I don't think we should be mentioning him in the same sentence as Zidane.
I said
Or
he
KDB.
plays like him.
Yeah, but you mentioned them in the same sentence.
Okay,
That-
so
like-
let me clarify why I said KDB is if he's 20 million, he has the Manchester City connection through his dad. KDB's getting older. He has the connection with Haaland as well. It could be a smart business move by City. You know, he could make sense for City. You know, yeah, I think it would make a lot of sense.
I mean, I don't know that has he done enough. Like he stood out against Canada, but I mean, has he done enough? Like you said, bad injury record.
He has a bad injury record, and he barely plays 90 minutes. That's.
I mean, he's 20 years old, so he's got time, but I don't think.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not on a lot of clubs' radars. There's got to be for a reason, right? I don't. I've not watched him play for Dortmund, so I don't know how he's fared in the Bundesliga. I think I saw a stat he's played 70 some odd games and scored 13 goals. So not terrible, but you know, yeah.
He doesn't start for Dortmund, which is really weird. He always comes on around the 60th minute, and he makes an instant impact. I watched a handful of Dortmund games. I mean, I definitely watched the final game. And in that game, he came on and made a massive impact for like 10, 15 minutes, and then he fell off. He just kind of disappeared. Which it's so weird. I don't know what it is. Maybe he has bad injury, you know, whatever.
Yeah, I haven't seen enough of him in the Bundesliga to be able to form an opinion. Like I said, for that price, sure, it's a deal, but I don't think that's the kind of player City are targeting, Arsenal are targeting, United, Tottenham. I don't know, maybe Tottenham.
I'd take it for that price. I'd take him.
He'll end up at Leeds.
Right.
He'll end up at Leeds.
Sin Cara brought up a good point. Greg Berhalter coming back to the men's national team is a horrible decision in his opinion. What do you get? I know, Milo, you might not have much to say on Berhalter, but Hoff, any thoughts on Berhalter?
So I watched him for, was it 4 years? I think he was here in Columbus before he got the men's national team job, and it's this you know what you're gonna get with him. Very rarely will you be surprised. Like, he won't spring tactical surprises. He's not gonna overthink things. He's not gonna pep you or pep himself, like Pep had done previously in big matches. He's gonna try to beat you like the same way every time, and it's kind of boring. I mean, his crew teams were supremely boring. I didn't like watching them. His U.S. teams is just, I don't know. I feel like he's a better national team manager than he is a club manager, because I feel like you have less impact. You're not developing players as a national team manager,
Right.
or you shouldn't be. That's not your job.
I like when
if you're like,
oh, go ahead.
what's that? Go ahead.
I like when U.S. men's national team people talk about the national team and they say the program. I don't think any other national team refers to their system as a program. You know, like the national team program or the U.S. national team. I think that's really what, because USA have such a huge network of people playing. You know, massive country. Everyone's playing youth soccer. They just needed to organize it a little bit, you know. And now we're seeing this team. Pulisic, the oldest in the of the bunch at 24, and you know we're like, what's his name? Not Levi Colwill, Cade Cowell in the U20s.
Oh yeah.
He's going to be involved in the Gold Cup. So now we have the Nations League that just happened, and now we have the Gold Cup, which is going to be a bunch of our MLS players and youth players combined that just played in the U20 World Cup. So it's like these systems, these programs are so good for the countries without a good league. You know, like
Mhm.
it's so important. Like England, they could, Bellingham pops up at Birmingham, and then he's on a stage, already. Um, our Bellingham's playing, some random MLS academy right now.
Mhm.
I don't know.
I will say for all the shtick that MLS gets, I think it has played a pretty important role in the improvement of the men's national team. I mean, you can probably put their trajectories beside each other. I think probably the best men's team I'd seen before, because I think right now is talent wise, this is the best men's team that we've ever seen.
Yeah.
In '02, that was probably the best team when they made the quarterfinal run in the World Cup
Yeah.
and lost to Germany. That team was probably the best team, but talent wise, this team is miles ahead. And I think that MLS has a big role, played a big role in that. And not even guys that played in MLS, but guys that were discovered by MLS teams. Like Brendan Aronson is one, and his brother, hopefully, who
Paxton,
starts
right?
playing a little
Paxton.
more. Yeah, and Paxton. Just guys that are like discovered by MLS teams, and they're snapped up before they can really make an impact in MLS, which is good. It shows that there's a pathway
Right.
to better leagues, European playing time, Champions League playing time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think their two fates are linked and for the better so far. So yeah, for even though MLS is a retirement league or whatever, it has helped the men's national team, which is, I don't know if that was the goal, but it was definitely one of the objectives, and it's certainly helped.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's exciting now. Like this is like since it's such a young group, right? Like 24
Mhm.
being Pulisic being the oldest of the group. It's like you just get a feeling that we're just gonna keep creating solid players from now on, and then when Pulisic is 35, we'll have a consistent kind of spread of players just
Mhm.
at all ages coming through because it is such a huge sport here until college, until like around college.
Yeah.
What's interesting is
Um,
I feel like
yeah.
Canada they're in a position that the US have in my lifetime always been somewhat there, maybe
Mhm.
pre 2000. Like Canada are in that kind of bracket. So Davis is obviously a standout for
Mhm.
them, and Jonathan David obviously has had
Yeah.
some pretty good praise over the last couple of years. But the rest of the program seems to be where the US was, call it, I don't know, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's growing
Yeah.
here. Their players are getting better. Um, more of their stuff, because obviously the number one sport here is hockey. They all want to play
Mhm.
hockey.
Yeah.
Unless a lot of the Canadian team they're better players were not necessarily born and raised in a Canadian suburb. You know what I mean? They have
Uh-huh.
They have Canadian passports and they've chosen to play for Canada. So
Mhm.
but it's an interesting one. But I mean, the sport is definitely growing here. I know someone that went down to watch that game. They were down at where was it? By the way,
think
it was
in
in Vegas.
Vegas, I believe. Yeah.
It
Allegiant.
was in
Yeah.
Vegas, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy Mark from the Arsenal Supporters Club in Vancouver that I know, he was down there and posting sort of daily updates as to what was going on and enjoying the atmosphere and soaking it all up and all the rest of it. So
Oh, nice.
yeah,
Well, on to your Arsenal boy, Florarin Balogun. Florarin. Is that it?
and Balogun. I mean, Arsenal boy for now. If we can get a good chunk for him, I'd probably cash in.
Yeah, he says he doesn't want to go on loan for the coming season. He wants
saw
to
that, yeah.
fight. He wants to get into the rotation.
I just when Lacazette gets as many goals as you, it makes me fearful for your impactability in the
Oof.
Premier League.
That feels a little harsh I don't know.
I know it does, but everyone points to his goal scoring record, and then honestly, look at Lacazette's
But he's
in the
playing on
French league.
what team was he playing on? Lacazette was on Lyon. Balogun was playing on.
Is he at Rem?
Rem?
I think he was with.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying that he's bad. I'm just saying that I think expecting him to come back and light up the Premier League is a little bit optimistic, in my opinion.
I mean,
If we keep him as depth, I would like to see him utilized and see what he's got. And if we can sell him as a young player that was high goal scorer, then he has good value, and we can get a good chunk of change for him. Then I'd be okay with that as well.
I mean, the comparison would be to, is he better than Nketiah, right? He's 3 years younger than Nketiah. Nketiah's...
I think
Is he better-
Nketiah.
That's the
Yeah, I
question,
mean,
right? I mean, that's
think
who
Eddie-
the position he'd be competing for. But
I think Eddie brings you something a little different. I
Okay.
don't think that Eddie's natural goal scoring ability is his strong point. I think his physical play and energy is more his forte. Whereas I think maybe Balogun would be an option to actually put the ball in the net a bit more. Although Eddie did okay last year when Gabby was out.
Yep.
So I'm not. I think we need another forward option. So if he's up for fighting for his place, then so be it. But what I don't want is a player coming in thinking, well, I got to be starting, or I'm just going to kick up a fuss. You know what I mean? Like for me, he has to play well in preseason, impress, and earn his place in the team, or
Yeah.
he's going to have to do it the hard way, which is coming off the bench and making an impact every single time, and then getting a chance and taking it. I don't know if he's at that level yet, but you got to think someone that can put the ball away in this Arsenal team should score a lot of goals
yeah,
because of the positions that if we had a natural goal scorer, like just the amount of chances that are created by Martinelli, Saka, Odegaard, you should be able to get a lot of goals. Jesus, had he scored, every decent chance he had, would have had a lot of goals last season, and he was out for 4 months,
yeah.
5 months. So
He's Nketiah just signed a 5-year deal, I believe.
yeah,
Earlier this year. So I mean, I don't know how much that goes into Balogun's rhetoric, just because it doesn't seem like he's it doesn't seem like he will have that spot off the bench, even off the bench.
The Eddie deal is a funny one because to me, I think, is that him resigned to the fact that he'll always be the second option or third option? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
It seems that way, whereas he could probably have got to move away to somewhere and been a starting forward somewhere else after the season he just had.
Right.
It's an interesting one.
Let's talk a little Arsenal transfer then. Let's go to the guy you're linked with. I mean, not linked. Apparently, personal terms have been agreed with. Kai Havertz. It's pretty exciting. Is he the heir to Dennis?
No, fuck no. I mean, like, I got to be honest with you. Havertz has never really. I've never been like, wow, I wish I had that player at any point. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
From what I've read, they see him, and take this with a pinch of salt because what I've read is in the media. So whether or not it's true is another thing coming. But like, from what I've read is they like his versatility. He could play anywhere in the front three, and potentially maybe just behind as well, or in that false nine role, which Jesus kind of occupies. So yeah, I think look, I've talked about depth so much last year. I think that would be a great addition in terms of depth going into the Champions League. A player with experience, and he's not old. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. He obviously has ability. We haven't. I don't think we've seen the best of him at Chelsea though.
Yeah, and a lot of people talking about he's a flop, blah blah blah. Other flops from Chelsea, Mohamed Salah, Kevin De Bruyne, and
Yeah.
Robin wasn't
Yeah.
quite a flop, I don't think, but he didn't spend too much time there. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, no, Robin. I don't think Robin was a flop. I
At
think
Chelsea, yeah.
he just joined during the Abramovich era, and there was a lot of talented players getting snapped up by them at that time. So
Yeah.
I don't know that he necessarily shone there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like Robin was the kind of player that for his own ego needed to shine.
Could this be so? I mean, there's a lot of talk about Emil Smith Rowe. He's got the 10. There's also, I mean, the thing that comes to my mind is Odegaard maybe drops back a little bit. You have a holding mid, and then you got Odegaard a little deeper, and then Havertz in front of him type kind of thing.
I don't want to see Odegaard drop back into that role because I think that's the weakest part of his game.
Yeah.
Personally, I think he's far more effective when he's dictating that final ball, or in and around the opposition box. So
Yeah.
For me, I don't really want to see that, and I think if we have Declan Rice and I don't know who we're going to have alongside him right now. We've been linked with Lavia, right? A lot, heavily this week.
Romeo Lavia looks really good. That's the thing, right? If you get someone like Rice, who really is much more physical than Partey, covers a lot more ground than, I mean, obviously both Partey and Xhaka. Maybe that's the idea. They could really go to almost like a 4-1-4-1 type of thing, with Havertz and Odegaard in front of Rice, letting Rice do all the cleanup, dirty work behind. But who knows? We'll see.
It will be interesting to see. I definitely. I just hope that it's options, right? What I don't want is Arteta to rip up last year's game plan,
Right.
and have a whole new one for the entire season, right? What I want is options. So the depth should give us options to be able to change tactics, change formations, which I think is something Arteta as a manager is still learning how to do in-game management-wise, like when to push, when to ease off, when to try and control possession. I think last season's results are a reflection of that a little bit, that he's still learning the craft as well, right? So as are many of the young players. I would like to see us have another option tactically and another formation. So maybe, to your point, going to that kind of formation at certain times and being able to revert to what served them really well this season.
Yeah. Speaking of Arsenal, Saka today. Hat trick for England against North Macedonia at Old Trafford. Also, Rashford, Kane scoring as well. I think it was Rice to Rashford to Kane for one of the goals. Just a beautiful, I don't know. Saka looks at home there. I don't know. He looks so comfortable. The fans love him there. And
You mean in an England shirt, right?
I mean, England shirt. Just as a human, I'm looking past the shirt, as a human. He looks really good there.
That's going to happen, mate.
We could be looking for a Sancho replacement. Slightly less potential, but he'll do. Saka will do in that position.
You in your dreams.
But Saka scored some beautiful goals today. He scored some great goals.
Yeah, I mean, again, I find it really hard to get excited over a victory over North Macedonia.
True.
No disrespect to our North Macedonian viewers.
We're big
of which
there.
I'm sure there are thousands.
We're big. Sorry.
1,000 exactly the population of North. No, but it's it's one of those things. In a lot of these qualifying games, the opponents are dross, right? Mm-hmm. So I mean, it's a stat pad for your England career.
Let's kind of transition to that England game before we get to the European Nations League. Trent Alexander-Arnold with the number 10 shirt on. Did you guys see that?
Putting a good shift as well, yeah.
He played. I mean, let's say it again real quick. It was North Macedonia and Malta. Just let's just do that. But still, he looks. It's pretty fun seeing him right there. I
have a soft spot for Malta, by the way, because my mum was born there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. My granddad was stationed there in the Navy
Oh,
when
cool.
my mum was born.
Nice.
Yeah,
Cool,
and
cool,
we went out there when I was younger. So I know this is a bit of a segue, but Malta is lovely.
Yeah,
Really nice little island.
that's got to be like gold mine scheduling. You know, when they drew Malta, and like someone who knows how the groups work, know it's in June. You know, like something. You know, right away they're like, oh, vacation.
Trip to the Med, yeah.
Let's catch up with chat here real quick. Let's see what chat's saying. What is Havertz actually elite at? I think he's like a Thomas Muller, you know, dummy runner, to use PES terms, like a shadow striker type of, you know, he just needs elite around him and he'll shine, I think. But I'm trying to be positive, you know, even though it's an Arsenal situation. Let's see. Arsenal wants Gundogan as well. That's a pretty interesting one. That would be interesting.
I mean, look, I think it's pretty common knowledge. Rice and one other centre mid. I mean, if Xhaka is leaving, we're going to need another option. El Neni, you know, are we keeping El Neni again for like that fifth choice mid? Right. I don't know. Party's been linked with moved to Saudi this week. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yes, interesting.
Yeah,
maybe
I'm like, as long as they pay extortionate money, then I'm all for it.
We'll get to that in just a second as well. Be grateful. North Macedonia knocked us out of the World Cup qualifiers. Nah, that's Italy. That's true. They did. They did. Was that Pandev's like last thing he did for the national team or something? I can't remember.
I think so. Yeah,
it was. But yeah, Trent going to the 10. Have you guys ever seen someone else go from right back to 10? I think in my lifetime, I think this is the first time. I know Culture would probably mention John O'Shea. He could probably do that or something. But I think in my lifetime, I've never seen a right back someone who started as a proper right back end up in a 10 shirt. I think this might be a first. The trivia people will have to.
Yeah.
Oh no, Dani Alves.
I wonder what the thinking was.
Dani Alves did it at a I think in the Mexican, or no, when he went back to Brazil, he had the 10 shirt on. Actually, that's kind of funny. But he was, I don't know how effective he was. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Pretty wild shift.
I wonder why that decision was made.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, it's like, it's fascinating. It's like, what is going on? You know, what is going on? I know he started playing in midfield for Liverpool, and you know he's got the dreads. You know, it's like it's kind of like, it's like, you know, if I never told you he was a right back, you'd be like, oh yeah, he looks like a 10, or like, you know, he's like Arnoldinho. You know, you know, he's just going at it. What is Southgate cooking exactly? Anyways, it's fun. I love that stuff. I love ingenuity. You know, thinking out of the box, trying things, daring. You know, cough just like your team. What is it? Dare till I die or something.
To dare is to do.
To dare is to do. To dare till I die. Jesus.
I mean, Southgate trying something new is interesting.
Right? He took Kane off at 70 minutes. No, that's right after scoring a penalty. That is as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Southgate trying something new is big. You know, Foden was playing off the right, I think, when he came on. Anyways, but let's talk about the. Well, I'm gonna be honest. I did not watch the Nations League final, but it was Spain versus Croatia. It went to penalties. Spain won on penalties. I have noted here, Gavi has more international trophies than Modric. This was, you know, I was fed this line by a Barca fan. I won't say who. But yeah, good for Spain. Little trophy. I don't know. Nations League. Nah, you know, it is what it is.
Is that Modric? Like, is Modric done this year, or is he playing next season?
Yeah, this is a good transition. Yeah, so Luka Modric has turned down a $200 million or pound per season offer from Al Hilal. Let's get into the Saudi stuff. So he rejected $200 million for, I think, 2 or 3 I don't know how many seasons. But yeah, so let's talk about this Saudi stuff, guys. First, let's just talk about what's happened.
First, Stefan's calling you out about the Nations League. Last season, you did get really excited about it.
Card hyped up the Nations League when CR7 won it. Because it was hype. It was hyped up at the time because it's CR7, guys. Come on.
Today, you're like, it's a trophy, you know.
Well, who did they beat in the final? Was it Belgium? I can't remember.
I can't remember either. It was that memorable.
Yep.
True. All I'm saying is this. I sent you guys a little video about this, but football is increasingly becoming like Instagram, where you have people that have footballers are all basically influencers now, right? And that's what gets you ratings. Like if you're an actor and you have followers on Instagram, you're more likely to get a part than someone who's an actor, same talent level, without followers on Instagram, you know. And it's all part of the marketing landscape now. And this is a testament to it, I think. You know, you have big players playing in these meaningless games, it somehow just becomes a more hyped up thing and a bigger occasion, you know. I think this kind of speaks to it, even though it was still a hyped game. I just missed the game. Sleep schedule, just missed it. I would have watched it. But looking back on it, 0-0 didn't sound too exciting.
Yeah.
But anyways, I don't know, just a little tangent. What do you think about, you know, football becoming all like an influencer space, like FIFA being an app, right?
I think it's always been influencing.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's you know, dress sense, music taste, clothing options, fashion. It's always had an element to it, obviously, and it's moved with the time. So I think it's just a natural progression to where we are now. But yeah. I mean, it definitely, if you're, you know, if you have a bit of savvy, you definitely want to exploit that as much as you can.
Yeah.
What do you
Like,
think,
imagine what David Beckham could have done. I mean, he already did really well, but imagine what Beckham might have been able to do if social media was as rampant when he was first on the scene.
right?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he became a brand essentially.
Yep. Yeah, he had his own. Adidas had a Beckham logo on.
Yeah.
I remember they came out with like the Beckham edition of Predators.
Exactly. Yeah.
And like the Beckham, like he had his own like training shirts and
And he
stuff
was
like that.
He was pioneering haircuts and.
Yep.
I was just about to
fashion.
ask you about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
The samurai haircut.
Milo, did you ever follow a haircut from
Well,
you know?
I didn't follow him because am I the same age as him, or how old is Beckham now?
That's true.
Is he older than me?
Near.
I think we're very similar.
Yeah, I think so.
Obviously, our lives went in drastically different directions.
So what? It's just an injury, right? There's some injury happened.
It's just injury. Yeah,
It's just
I
a
had
small
a
issue.
yeah, I had a minor groin problem. He was born. Oh, he's older than me. He's 48.
Oh, okay.
Wow,
okay.
okay.
So he was born in 75. Well, anyway, I had curtains for a long time.
Oh,
You know?
Okay.
But that wasn't Beckham. Everyone had them. That was
Right.
before Beckham. That was when I was a kid. Like Beckham didn't really come onto the scene till.
Did you
I
ever?
mean, he's only 6 years older than me. So
Did you ever have a Billy Idol phase?
no,
Oh.
that was before me as well.
Yeah. I've recently just learned.
It was
who
all
Billie
Oasis, mate. Liam and Noel when I was a kid.
So I recently got it, not into, but I'm learning about Billy Idol. You know, I didn't know who he was. I just knew his name, but I didn't know like what he looked like or what he you know. So like when I think of Beckham, I think of Beckham having Billy Idol hair at one point. You know, the bleached spikes. You know, kind of.
Let me see. Do you want to see a picture of me with curtain?
Oh yes, if you can find one.
I can do that. Just hold. You guys
Yeah.
talk amongst yourselves. I'll be
we'll
right.
keep talking. We'll keep talking.
Yes.
Uh-oh, they're going off about Gavi in the chat right now.
Yeah, it's a Gavi battle right now.
So, okay. What? Okay. I don't know. I'm not sold on Gavi. He came on the scene hot. You know, he came on the scene hot. He was amazing. But when I watch his games, I don't. Maybe just the way he's being used. He's just kind of like a box-to-box midfielder now with high aggression. You know, that's what I see right now. Maybe we need to, I don't know, see more or something. I don't know. What do you think of?
I need to cover them.
I just feel like he's the.
This is family
like
members. We're just covering some family members over.
Hold on.
So
I can get a big
He's like
screen.
the next one in line.
No, we're good.
I feel
We're good.
like
Oh, is this size good? Okay.
We're good.
Okay. Wait, you're not gonna show?
Yeah. My wife's just gonna do
Oh,
a little
okay.
editing.
Okay.
yeah, I feel like Gavi is just the next one in line. Like, well, I guess I'll start with him and then like Pedri. I'm super let down by Ricky Puig.
But Ricky Puig, where the hell he come from?
I thought he was gonna be so much better than what, and he's playing for fucking LA Galaxy now. I had such high expectations. Oh boy, here it is.
Gavi could end up. Oh, here we go. Let me make. Can I make your? Let me make your screen bigger. Hold on.
This is like, I just want to say Jack Grealish has nothing on me. All right.
Here we go. You're going full screen. Here we go.
You guys have in chat can decide, is this more Beckham or Grealish when I was younger?
Ooh.
All right, hang on.
Oh, yes.
Nice. No, I totally remember that haircut. What is that?
Dude,
early
that's
90s?
like that's like sixth member of Backstreet Boys good.
That's great, man. That's great. That's
Oh my
hilarious.
god, dude. The
We'll clip this.
sideburns as well.
Oh yeah, with the
sideburns.
burns. Yep.
That's too good. That's too good.
I will. I'll have to digitally get some installed on the computer, and I'll create like a 90s Milo emote.
There we go.
It's got to be
There
done
we go.
with the curtains.
Yeah.
I did not dye my hair. No, I had when I was a kid, I was blonde, like blonde when I was a baby, and my hair just got darker and darker and darker the older I got. Very weird. It's not black; it's grey now.
Yeah.
It's brown. You can't really see it though.
That's great.
Yeah, there you go. That was completely unplanned, chat. By the way, that was.
I love it.
We got on the hair topic
Yeah.
with Beckham, and that was it.
Yeah, I mean, he was a master with the hair. You know, he had all the he had all the different hairstyles growing up. I remember the faux hawk, right? He popularized the faux hawk.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, all this stuff.
I remember my best friend, we played high school soccer together, and he got, after he signed with Madrid, and he had the top knot, like samurai looking thing. My buddy had long hair, and he did, like, the next day at practice he showed up with that, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, do you know how good you have to play to pull that off now?
Yeah, there it
One
is.
of
Those are all the
them-
Beckhams.
There's a video out there where Beckham's talking to Gary Neville, and he says that, I think it was the mohawk, Fergie made him cut it off.
Yeah, he dyed
Shave
his
it
hair, and then made him shave it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, legendary haircuts though.
I forgot about the dreads.
Oh
Yeah, the
Oh,
dreads.
cornrows.
sorry, no, I said dreads. I meant cornrows.
The
My bad.
cornrows. Legend.
Yeah.
Legend. Marketing, right? Messi went what? Messi went bleached once.
Mm-hmm.
Then what? L L washed, whatever the kids say, L Messi.
Well, the Messi becoming a man was almost
Sorry,
like when he went from long hair to short hair, right?
Yeah. He apparently like in Argentina, big. They were all like heavy metal fans. They were all fans of heavy metal, so it was cool to have like the long hair. And that was like the style at the time when he grew up. And yeah, he had that long hair for a while when he was wearing the 30 and the 19. Yeah, that's my favorite Messi. Just a energy bug, just pumped full of HGH. No. Let's not go there.
Let's not go there again.
Fresh, fresh HGH. All right, moving on. Let's get back to quickly international football. So congratulations to Spain winning that trophy, the Nations League. Scotland had a big win over Norway last week, 2-1. They were down 1-0 after Erling Haaland penalty in like the after halftime. And then in the 84th and 89th minute, Scotland come back to score 2 goals and win the game. And they are first in their group. Massive 3 points for them as well. And they beat, I think they play Georgia tomorrow, I think. And so they could be looking, sorry. Oh, Hoff got stuck somehow. Wait, how did you get stuck, Hoff?
What'd I do?
No, on my end it's stuck. Let me fix it.
I see that.
I wonder, has Haaland commented on what it's like to actually lose a game?
There we go, fix it. I don't know. I mean, he's people are saying, taking this type of game and saying, he's being carried by Pep and Barca, or not Barca. Pep
or is it that just the majority of the Norway squad is bang average?
Yeah, I mean, who do they got? They got.
Let's have a look at their starting lineup, shall we? So we've got time.
Odegaard.
Got time to chew the fat,
That's
as
all I
it
can
were.
think of. Oh, that sounds. I'd love to.
You'd love to chew some fat.
I'm thinking like a steak in the fat, just chewing it.
All right, like Solbakken, who, by the way, in my football manager save, I signed him for Parma, is decent, but he's not like set the world alight yet. Odegaard, obviously, had a great season, is a good player. The rest of them are, obviously good players, but I just don't know that.
Berg?
Obviously, it's a lot different, I think, playing for Norway than it is his club team. Are we going to talk? I don't like the award, really. You know, we've talked about this. Is Haaland, should he win the Ballon d'Or? Heard people talking about it this last couple of weeks.
He should be top 5 for sure, top 3 for sure.
Yeah.
But that World Cup, man, it's that World Cup.
You think they're going to give it to Messi?
It's the World Cup.
But he had such an average season.
He had a pretty average season, but I don't know.
Champions League, treble winning, broke every goal scoring record in the Prem, aside from total number of goals. But give him another season and a half, and he'll probably have that as well.
When Modric won it, he finished semi-final in the World Cup, or not, second place World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I just think the World Cup is just gonna carry so much to FIFA. Maybe like if it was a UEFA award, like maybe UEFA's best player could be Haaland.
I mean, he was top scorer in the Champions League as well as winning it.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. If they want to move forward with football, I think they give it to Haaland.
Stefan.
He's the future.
He's not the best player in the world, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's not. Ballon d'Or isn't technically the best player in the world. It's who gets the most votes.
Well, yeah, this is it. Otherwise, Henry would have had 3.
Yeah. Well, you could argue probably on certain. Was he like top goal scorer in Europe and stuff like that?
Oh, he
Henry?
smashed it all. Smashed it all.
All right,
Didn't lift the big one.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, he's got to be. There's just something about Haaland that it's just a classic, like, people love a playmaker, Like,
For me, when I think Ballon d'Or, I do think Messi, Ronaldinho,
Yeah. Zidane.
Zidane, R9.
Scholes.
Like, I think players that's why I always thought Henry should have won one. Not because necessarily of what he did win with Arsenal or didn't win with Arsenal, but because anyone that you asked that watched him play week in, week out, like, there's a whole generation of players that said that their most feared player to play against was Henry. He gave them nightmares.
Yeah.
And he did things on the field that were magic, man. Like, you don't see players do that. They come along once every now and then, and they can do certain things. And you combine all of those elements. I think that's why I always thought Henry should have won one, not because of what he did or didn't win, but because of his overall football aura. The same can be said with, a lot of those players that win it. And, like, that's why, Modric, great player, but he's never really set, I've never really thought, man, he's just unbelievably good,
Yeah.
It's very, very good, but, like, I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. And VVD, it's difficult for defenders. I think it's got to be the hardest to win one as a defender, unless you're, like, maybe captain of your team, you win the domestic and the Champions League, and you win a World Cup.
Yeah, the Cannavaro style, right?
The Cannavaro style, and I mean that
essentially
essentially is what stopped Henry from winning it that year. I mean,
Yeah.
it's tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
I never said Modric isn't that good. I'm just saying that, Modric is a fabulous player, but he's not what I think of when I think Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Maybe
Yeah.
I'm not explaining it the right way, but that's how I feel.
Right. I think that's it's everyone has a different criteria. That's why it's like it's based on voting. So it's like, right, it's based on, like, I think you was it journalists or, like, companies or something, I don't know how many coaches get votes. I don't know how the voting works, but it's not like a set thing where it's like, score this many goals and you're the best striker. It's still voted upon, etc.
That's what I mean. I feel like you should be being the best player in the world should be a part of it.
Yeah.
It should be. But then, who would you give it to over him this season?
Just because it's the World Cup is the reason why, and the impact that World Cup had. I don't know, just that the World Cup being the way it was, I just feel like it has to be Messi. It just feels like it has to be. But if FIFA are looking more into the future, like, Haaland's hype is maxed right now. Give him Ballon d'Or and it's, like, maxed out.
Yeah.
Young upcoming footballer.
I mean, Cart, I don't really care. I've never really been one for the individual award anyway. Like, the Ballon d'Or, it's a topic we've talked about before, and I'm like, don't really care.
Yeah,
but,
no, I know. I know you.
I remember we talked to, because it came up before when Messi won that one, right? And we were kind of debating it then, and it's just, I think most people thought Leonard. Louis, I can't say his name.
Leonard. I love how an N
Lewandowski.
hops into it. Just an N out of somewhere just hops into it.
Leonardovsky. Am I reading out that list of names? Is that happening tonight?
Oh, I gotta find that. Yeah, maybe we can do that. But okay, just a real quick quote from Messi. I think this was after one of the Argentina games this last week. He scored an amazing goal against Australia, by the way. He didn't play against Indonesia today, which has got to be a bummer for everyone who bought tickets for that game. I have achieved everything in football. There's nothing left. There's nothing left. That's what he says. So it's like maybe that's what makes it feel like, yeah. If I was looking to the future is Haaland and Mbappe and these guys. It'll be Mbappe, Messi, Haaland, Rodri. Maybe Rodri I just saw in chat, but Rodri makes a lot of sense. His goals in the Champions League were massive.
What would
he'll be up there?
Obviously, Mbappe, he has that X factor that I've talked about. If you like, X factor is probably the best word to describe it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But again, no Champions League. No, I mean, he did play well in the World Cup up to the.
Yeah.
Obviously, they didn't win it, but
see that I don't think like I think they'll kind of like over amplify the weight of the World Cup, and then just how good the players been, just how good they play, even if they don't win anything, I think that's I don't know. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. What is it, October or something at the awards even? I don't know. Other Messi news: Sergio Busquets is to Inter Miami is apparently done, contract to 2025, so he won't be playing with no names over there, which will be nice. And I think Busquets going to MLS is possibly I don't know. Everyone has a TV, but that style of player he's in my era or my time period of watching. He's probably my favorite holding mid in that anchor role.
He could be such a string puller in his role in the MLS as well.
Exactly.
Because I think the fitness level or the level your physical level can be a little lower and you're still going to be able to do a lot.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see.
Alba and Di Maria going to MLS as well, possibly.
Is Suarez going as well?
Vinicius as well. Yeah, Suarez. I mean, he's doing his thing at Gremio. He could end up over there. That would be great.
I heard something about him, Messi, and somebody else wanted to play together again. One last time. It was like they've talked about it.
Who knows? Aguero will just pop up over there somehow.
Yeah,
something like that. Other international news. Carlo Ancelotti is apparently set to be Brazil's boss in 2024. He's got the connection. Aguero lives in Miami. Oh, interesting. Okay. Carlo Ancelotti, after this season, will be the Brazil boss.
Aguero played it in the Kings League recently, right?
He did. Did you see that?
He missed a penalty.
Yeah, they do their
Casillas.
Yeah, they do their penalties old school MLS style.
Right.
So they do a run up, and then I think at a certain point, once they pass a line, the goalkeeper can come off his line and stuff like that.
I think I think they're only allowed so many touches of the ball.
Yeah,
because it always gets to the point where the ball's rolling and then they shoot.
Yeah. And the last little bit of international news. Oh, two bits here. So one is one's kind of not interesting, but Michael Boxall was racially abused during the first half of a game by a Qatari player. He plays for New Zealand. No official action was taken, and so the team agreed not to play the second half. They just left. New Zealand.
Nice.
They just said, "Boom, it's a friendly." The thing is if it wasn't a friendly, obviously they probably wouldn't have done that. But they were just like, "Hey, it's a friendly. We're not gonna take this abuse." They just walked off the pitch. It's New Zealand, Qatar. No one's really watching, anyways. But I thought that was kind of interesting. Either way, and last bit, yeah.
If we've said it before, like if you make a stand about something and you've got to follow that up. So they've done the right thing, but now it should be on FIFA to do the right thing, because they're FIFA are banging that drum left, right, and center at every chance they can get. But then we talked about it before, when they don't act, when they don't do something about it, it's just a joke. It just means that they're doing it just for show, just for like.
Yeah, it's such a tough one. yeah, it's the whole should football, become I don't know. It's just there's so much money involved that you take, it directly affects, like doing a protest in the streets for, women's rights or something. It's not like it's like it's like a time and place to protest. It's not. Well, actually, I don't know. That's a bad example. It's like football. It's like, imagine footballers, like the only place where they can really have a say is on the pitch in a way. Like that's when the spotlight's on them or whatever. Protests aren't always covered, I guess, by the media or whatever. But I don't know. I can't solve this problem. You guys have to solve it. I can't solve it. And the last bit of news.
I think just
Oh
to
yeah, go ahead, please.
kind of go back to what we mentioned before. That is kind of like, even though I agree with Milo most of the time that social media is just a cesspool, I think that that's one of the positive things about the game being more of a social media game now. Like athletes becoming more brands, I guess, is that they have that platform in addition to, they have that platform because of how good of an athlete they are, how many goals they score, how many tackles they make, whatever you want to say. So that's one of the few, I guess, silver linings of social media and the sport, just kind of growing together.
They should get I mean, I don't know. That's what I mean. Like, people could get more involved. What if two players from vastly different backgrounds, because we've talked about it before. It's not up to the football clubs. We talked about it at club level before, if you remember, right? But international level, obviously, it's the same thing. It's not on the clubs, we said, to educate the youth of said country and make sure that their upbringing, it's on the parent, right, to do that, and their education system, right? So it is up to the country in terms of making sure that the populace are educated. But if your parents come from an era where they feel so wildly different, it's hard to eradicate that from your society, right, from your culture. So what could help sports? What if they had two players from a vastly different background? I'm not going to call anyone out or any particular ethnicity or anything, but have them do a sit down and talk about what it means to them and why they can play together on the pitch and they have no animosity. Do you know what I mean? And do it in such a way that it's shown, before a game or at halftime during a game, have that interview shown where there's two players of those different ethnicities sitting there talking about it, because the kids do follow these players. They do listen to these famous athletes. They do follow their example. It's and obviously it will never eradicate anything completely. You just won't. There's no 100% in life, really. Yeah. There's always going to be this minority or a small percentage that do the opposite. But, having say no to racism on an advertising board in the background of your game doesn't do anything. Do you know what I mean? Like having a commentator say, let's take a moment to say no to racism in football, it's really nice, but it's not doing anything about the problem.
Right.
So
I really like that idea.
Yeah.
I really like
they got to
idea.
find a creative way to start to educate people around the world,
Yeah, it might just be as simple as that. It's just seeing two people from different backgrounds or skin color just interacting for people to see and stuff like that. Because a lot of racism, from what I understand, is just pure ignorance. People don't know. Yeah, people don't know people of other races, and they make assumptions, and they that's it. That's how it begins.
That's what I mean. You could have, for example, obviously Balotelli was a victim of it, famously at an international level. You know what I mean? have Balotelli and someone else sit and talk about it and what it meant to them and what I don't know what the way to do it. Just let it naturally happen. But it's something different needs to be done, because what they're doing now sounds great in theory, but it's the same as any political movement in my eyes. I'm not really, you know what I mean? It all sounds great in theory, but in practice, it's not doing anything for us.
Yeah. The knee hasn't done anything. That's the biggest weapon against football has to offer. Yeah,
That's
see,
not the biggest weapon. I don't agree with that.
But I mean, there's that's what I mean. Like, when the stage is set, the spotlight's on the players, taking a knee, that's their time to really say something, and that's all they can really do, unless they do something like what you're saying, Milo, where they put people together and kind of talk about things.
You'd have to have players that are willing to do it, and obviously not just football either. Because you'd want to reach as many kids and fans of different sports. I'm sure basketball players could do it. I'm sure hockey players could do it.
Right.
There's so many ways you could go about it, but you've got to reach. It's not going to change overnight, but we've come a long way on the racism front as a society. Obviously not as far as what you'd want. But if you think about it, longevity wise, in the last 100, 200 years, we've come a long way.
Yeah.
Are we there yet? No. But in order to continue that for the next 200 years, we have to target the young people of these places that seem to have more of that issue. Again, you're never going to get rid of it all because it just won't happen.
I agree. And speaking of young people and perception of a certain ethnicity, I Show Speed, Milo, your favorite YouTuber, I Show Speed. You know I Show Speed?
Fucking annoying.
Big news this week. He finally met his idol CR7.
God.
It's possibly the biggest football news of the week, at least in
Did he scream?
For the youth, he screamed. He did a suey. He did all that stuff. And speaking of, he is a young, black, footballing, and you wonder, is he setting the best example for that type of stuff? I mean, we're gonna sound super old now, but at least
didn't one of the first things he do set fireworks off in his bedroom or some shit?
Yeah, no. Look, and he's a content creator first, and then
he's not a good example for anything, unfortunately.
Right, but
screaming every time I see a video of him, it's him screaming about something.
Yeah,
and that's nothing to do. That's nothing to do with ethnicity.
Exactly,
that's just fucking annoying.
Let me just
do you know what I mean?
Hash that out real quick before I say say something stupid. I'm not saying like that's it, but I'm just saying like these are who maybe in the in the tiniest town in Eastern Europe where maybe there's not that much diversity. These are the lines of these are the lines of content that are being popularized, and this is maybe the first interaction a young kid has with someone. I don't know. It's getting
culture's gone in
over
deep.
my head.
Culture's gone in deep in the chat.
Oh no!
I pinned it.
I mean, look, he's. I know what you're saying, right? I think like on one score, he's a youngster. He's doing something with his life. He's making a lot of money.
Yeah,
he's entertaining a target audience. That target audience, by the way, are probably my worst nightmare.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like I wouldn't have anything in common with any of them.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? But like, I get it. There's an audience for him. There's an audience for you or me or Hoff or whatever. Like there's, yeah. It's just, and whatever he's done, he's blown up, and it's gifted him opportunities that a lot of people won't have. So then though, do you not start to think, okay, well, you have this platform, you should be doing more than setting off fireworks in your bedroom and screaming every time you see someone famous. Maybe you should be doing a little bit more with your platform.
Yeah.
I don't know, but then is that, like you say, is that an age thing? Maybe it is. Maybe in a few years he'll be like, man, I'm sorry I was such a twat.
Yeah, maybe.
You know,
I mean,
like,
he seems well intentioned, you know, and he's so like innocently and clownish in that way. You know, he's just kind of like a goofy guy. There are other people in his landscape that have done worse, you know, things like as far as like you know, saying he's kept it relatively PG. Yeah, I don't think.
So, Socko saying that he did some racist gestures at the World Cup or something. I'm not familiar with that, Socko.
I don't know about that.
Can you say what he did without?
And I'm sure there are well-intentioned racists out there.
Yeah,
that gets boring. Yeah, exactly. It gets boring. That's the thing.
He doesn't harm me. I don't watch his content. I've seen clips because you know I am on social media, unfortunately, but you have to be really a little bit, right? But so you can't miss it completely. But I don't really sit and you know. For example, I had no idea that he met Cristiano this week. I'm sure that video will pop up on my timeline now that we've been talking about it, and my phone's only about a foot away. So as we know, the phones listen, and the first video I see when I go on here will be that, I'm sure.
Okay. iShowSpeed spotted a fan and started saying... iShowSpeed spotted a fan and started saying konnichiwa, hello in Japanese several times, but the fan told him that he was not Japanese, but Chinese. Yeah. Okay. I mean, yeah.
Is that just look? I'm not making excuses for him, but is that just a question of education?
Yeah,
is he uneducated? Like, I think
he's definitely uneducated, and that's his whole shtick. You know, that's why people love him. Young adults, mature adults. You know, can't offend.
Milo says my phone spied. That's why Speed's on my timeline. Yeah, that will be the only reason, Quaco, I promise you.
Little reference to Black Mirror there. No. Have you guys seen Black Mirror yet?
I've never watched it.
Okay.
I haven't seen the new season. When's the new season drop? Or has it?
It came out. It came out last week, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Anyways, maybe we could talk about that another time. But yeah, basically he's a big Ronaldo fan. He finally met Ronaldo. I you know, I'm not gonna. He's not Mother Teresa who just, you know. I don't know. I think the blocking people out does not help them. Right? You know, canceling and stuff like that doesn't help them. There's no room. If anything, it makes them double down on whatever they did. You know. So it's like there's this kid, Aiden Ross. I don't know if you've heard of him.
Is he not the guy that owns Kick or started Kick?
He's a big guy on Kick. Yeah, he's one of the first. But he kind of popularized iShowSpeed. He helped Speed become famous, and a couple other guys. He's gone off kind of a deep end after being canceled off Twitch, right? And he's gone super like, you know. I feel like when his content starts getting dried out, the views start going down. He'll say crazy things, you know, to try to get his viewership back up or whatever. And that's the danger in just shutting people down, you know. I don't want to get too much into it, but there has to be a.
But then it's on the people watching them.
No, absolutely, it's on the people watching them. But you know, like people.
I'm not going to name names, but there are streamers on Twitch that target a certain group of lonely, sad men with money, and you know, I'm not gonna start watching. Do you know what I mean? The people that hit watch are the problem.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think everyone has a different threshold for being sold on something, you know, or the ability to be sold. I keep it pretty tight as far as that goes. Yeah, there's a lot of you know, I mean, the streaming psychology is insane. You hear streamers talk about it all the time, you know, big streamers. But that's a big thing they're talking about with Kick. one of the guys that runs Kick, and one of the main guys is a guy named Trainwrecks TV. I don't know if you guys know who that is.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, and he's like he's kind of spearheading the ideology of what Kick is supposed to be, which is like,
He's like the front man for it.
yeah, he's
Money,
the
more money to the creators and all that, right?
more money to the creators, but also, not trying to Disneyify everything, not trying to make everything super PG-13, allowing people to do racy content without destroying them. Kick gets their money from Stake, and this is a great transition. Now we can kind of transition. Stake is a gambling site, unregulated gambling site, I believe, but they are putting in a bid to become Chelsea's shirt sponsor. After Chelsea tried to get Paramount Plus to be their shirt sponsor, and the apparently the league said that would affect their TV, broadcasting relationships with other broadcasters, so they can't put Paramount, but we can put Stake TV on, or Stake whatever.
I
TV.
thought, wasn't there some new rules though about betting companies?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the new rule. It hasn't gone through, but that's what they were trying to do. Paramount Plus. The league said we can't have a broadcaster, and now they're apparently turning to
Stake have made a massive mistake here. They should have totally targeted Brentford.
Right?
They should have totally targeted Brentford. If Ivan Toney could have been there, like talisman on all the posters, it would have been perfect.
They won't put sponsor on kids kits. Kids kits. Stake used to sponsor Twitch. Yeah, they did it. I think Watford was Stake sponsor.
They should have targeted Stoke.
Steak City.
Steak
There
City.
we go. There we go. Oh, I could eat a steak right now. But yeah, let's get into Chelsea. A lot of stuff going on with Chelsea.
Yes. All right.
Okay, first off, how do we start this? Let's see. So let's just talk about Chelsea. Chelsea are selling their unwanted players to Saudi Arabian clubs. Okay, and they're Todd. Okay, there's a company. Okay, I should have read more about this. There's a company, Clear Lake, that owns a stake in both Chelsea, that owns a stake in Saudi Arabian clubs. I'm not sure which ones, or I think it might just be the Saudi Arabian football. And in a roundabout way, there is some stake in Newcastle as well. Somewhere in this family tree,
And
if
anyone
knows.
keeping if anyone's keeping account of how many times the word steak has been said in this show, it's about 5,428.
So
We're taking
a couple
wagers. We're taking wagers.
We are not sponsored by steak, but we're trying to be.
Yeah. Yeah. So a couple weeks ago, the Public Investment Fund, you probably heard of it because they own Newcastle. They own the Live Tour, and they have a board seat on the PGA now. They purchased a controlling stake in in all of the Saudi clubs in the league. So they essentially own the league is what they do now. And they are also a majority owner in Clear Lake Capital, which is Todd Boehly's investment company or capital company, whatever you want to call it.
If you got more, keep going.
What? Oh no, I was just explaining the ownership
Okay.
mess. Sorry.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
So how true? I don't know the truth level to all this. So basically, this guy lent them the money, invested the money for them to spend all the money in the transfer market, which means that they would be breaching FFP, right? But now they're going to sell a bunch of players to the Saudi league for more money than they're worth to balance everything so that they're not breaching FFP anymore.
Right. It's now okay. Let's take it in a couple different steps. Is it legal? it is legal apparently.
Yeah.
It's completely legal.
It's a loophole.
If it's a loophole, you can't really get mad at them for using it, but because it's more of a loophole than just the way, right?
Yeah. Right.
Because
Well,
not every club has access to it. But
Yeah.
if you were fighting something and your lawyer found a loophole, you would take it, right?
Absolutely. I mean, Boehly did the same with the 10-year-long contracts, right? To
Yes.
move the costs around. And speaking of what you're talking about, I can't remember who tweeted this, but European rivals of Chelsea and Wolves, right? Because Ruben Neves apparently going on a 55 million pound deal to Al Hilal on his last year of his contract, which is the highest, I believe, transfer fee for someone in their last year of their contract. Rivals are calling for fair market investigations into Saudi Arabia's dramatic haul of big money signings. One top club says teams are using Saudi Pro League as a get out of FFP jail free card, while the state embarks on its 500 million player spree. Chelsea have sold Koulibaly, Edouard Mendy, Hakim Ziyech, and possibly Aubameyang. Chelsea is going to be moving about 500,000 pounds of wages off the books while getting some transfer fees. And the transfer fees is what I'm most interested in, is how much are they getting for these players, which is, it's massive. It's massive.
And what if they don't have to disclose that to the public? Because you don't always hear about fees, do you?
Yeah, I don't know. Right? They have the whole idea of sister clubs, right? Like City Football Group, and they have Girona. They just bought Bahia in Brazil, and they did put a loan limit, right? They put you can only loan out 6 players of your squad now or something, and from the Premier League, that is. But who's to say that Girona doesn't buy Aymeric Laporte for like 50 million? He's a Spanish guy going back to Spain or something. He wants to. All the reasons are there for why he should go back, but they just pay a crazy fee, and City gets a bunch of FFP, or Bahia in Brazil. I don't know what Brazilian players are at City right now, but for example, like Ederson, if he wanted to finish his career in Brazil, Bahia spends a overprice for them, and it all goes through City Football Group, and I don't know if there's if there's laws against this. I'm assuming there's
the
not.
other thing is, though, you would think that there will be people in power within football looking at situations like that, and they will adjust the rules accordingly. So in the future, that might not be possible, but right now it is.
Yeah, but Boehly's done it again. If he gets away with it, which makes him go from crazy owner to like mad genius in a way. Come on, give it up for the American guy. Give it up for the American guy. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have any thoughts. I'm gonna go through chat while you guys. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's another one of those. It's
money
just,
laundering.
Yeah, just I don't know. More money, more problems, I guess.
I'm surprised no one has thought of it before now, but also like no one's had the money to do it before now of people that have owned clubs. Because the only thing that bothers me really about, like, they found a loophole, great for them. The only thing that bothers me just a little bit, and I don't know, I'm still, I guess, getting through my feelings on it, is that essentially Newcastle's owners have ownership in 2 clubs in the Premier League.
Right. And that, but it's like a, I mean, technically, isn't all money connected? No. I don't know. Like, how far do you go?
I thought there was a rule against that, though, but maybe
Now,
I'm wrong.
No, yeah. See, that's the part I misunderstood at first, and I wasn't sure about that. The stake being both in Chelsea and Newcastle. There's a conflict there, which I'm not sure.
But they have. So I was just reading. Oh, where did it go? So the Clear Lake Capital they have it listed as 60% private equity is how it's like listed on theirs, and they don't have to disclose where that equity is coming from. So it could be $10 from the PIF, or it could be billions, millions, whatever. It could be more than that, but that doesn't have to be. The Premier League doesn't require that to be declared of like 30% from here, 40% from here, 10% from here. They just need to know, like, do you have the money, basically, which I thought that they kind of moved away from that when, was it Shinawatra that bought City before the current ownership? I think it was Shinawatra. I thought that they changed their ownership financial disclosures, but it doesn't look like they did.
Okay. Coach is saying everyone's worried that Neves will just is going to be loaned to Newcastle halfway through the season. Yeah, the idea of loans will be interesting at this point.
We're gonna end up back down the rabbit hole of what we do about it, and then I'm gonna say a cap, and then you're gonna say, but you shouldn't punish the bigger teams, and yada yada yada. And we're gonna go back down that road, because like the only way to stop this is to have the same rules for everybody, the same number that everybody works to, and you can't breach them. That's the only way.
Yeah.
So, NL,
rules,
I know you
same
love
contract length, same everything. Sorry, Hoff, go on.
No, it's okay. I know that NL loves picking fights. I'm not trying to spin it to say that Saudi Arabia owns Chelsea. Saudi Arabia is invested in the company that owns Chelsea. They want money out of their investments. That is a problem, because they own another team that they want money out of as well. You can't, if your team A gets higher returns than team B, that's not good for your investment. You want both of your teams to maximize your investment. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that they're controlling the transfers and all of that. But when you have investment in two clubs, which they do, you can't argue that they don't, then that's a problem.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a massive conflict of interest.
Yeah. Adola says Saudi Arabia want to host the 2030 World Cup in Egypt and Greece. It would be the first World Cup to be hosted by countries from 3 different federations: UEFA, CAF Egypt, and AFC Saudi. That'd be cool. Yeah, I mean, the end goal. I know a lot of people say sports washing, this, that. I'm not. My mind, it doesn't immediately go there. I think of a country trying to create football, a sport that the whole world loves, trying to create a football league in their own country. I feel like that's what's happening. And these signings, even the rumor of Bernardo Silva going to Saudi, Ruben Neves going to Saudi, just even like the chance of Jordi Alba, going. Well, Jordi Alba's a little older. But the idea that these guys, Saul is apparently linked to Saudi. These guys going to Saudi already has made a bigger impact than China has and the MLS has, as far as that goes. MLS already have such a massive infrastructure, kind of youth football and all that stuff. I don't know if Saudi has that, which is what Seferin said in a comment. He said, Saudi transfer strategy is a mistake for Saudi football. They should invest that money in academies, bring coaches, and develop their own players. Buying players at the end of their careers is not a system that develops football. Similar mistake in China. But I would argue that they're already, they have the, first off, location-wise, they have a better location than China. They have, I think they have a better, they already have a bigger pull than China. For that reason, they have more money. They're going big, and if they can get 28-year-old players, that are kind of looking for that last contract of their career, that big contract, and they've won the Champions League or something, or they've won titles already, maybe they're not in contention for first starting spot in their international team like Ruben Neves. Maybe they go to Saudi. People are saying it's like Oscar And it could end up being like Oscar going to China at a young age. But I don't feel the same way, you know? I don't feel the same way. I don't know if you got... I mean, Ruben Neves is the youngest one to go, right? I think. And the kind of one with the most potential. Yeah. Clear Lake is technically owned by the Saudis. It's a loophole because the company is allowed to own clubs because they don't own a big enough stake in Chelsea, apparently. Kroenke used a version of this loophole as well as his wife owns Avalanche and the Nuggets because the NFL requires owners to not have teams in competing markets. As he owns the Rams. Oh, okay, his wife. Okay.
That's competing markets, though.
Competing markets. Yeah, that's a little different, but yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Not two teams in the same league.
Same with Liverpool. Liverpool's old American owners, they bought the club. Oh, okay, sorry, I'm not reading all of it. Paulinho as well, Jackson Martinez, yep. As Saudi, I think we agree investing in academies and scouting, yep. Saudi have a way better culture involving football than China. Yeah, at least we know more about it. Son, Benzema, Mahrez, front three at Al Ittihad. Yep, I could be having. I think. Yeah, I saw a whole rundown of like who's going to be playing with who. I think Neves is going to the Ronaldo's team. I think, and Mendy's going with Koulibaly, and yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on. But yeah, you know, Chelsea. At the end of the day, I think we should all apologize to Todd Boehly. Let's just go around, you know.
I'm not going to do that.
Apologize to Todd Boehly.
No, because the guy's transfer policy is who do Arsenal link with today? Let's go and put a bid in on them. Like, do your own research, mate. Like, do your own scouting. Do your own research. Stop just copying what we're doing. You twat.
Other news, speaking of Newcastle, Newcastle closed in on, there's reports of Newcastle closing in on a £50 million deal to sign Nicolo Barella from Inter Milan, which would be a massive signing for them. His wage will probably be out of this world if he goes, I'd imagine. And, okay, I shouldn't bring this up, but I'm going to bring it up. Newcastle's owner, I just saw this. Okay, I saw Newcastle's owner prepares to execute 7 men who were children at the time they were allegedly to have committed their crimes. One was just 12. That was unnecessary. I'm sorry.
Wait, what is this?
Newcastle's owner is apparently executing 7 men who were children when they committed their crimes. I don't know. Just the humanitarian sports washing aspect, you know, just kind of the other side of it. Just kind of, maybe it's not necessary to. I don't know the details, but you know, to the people that are all about sports washing, that's for you. Okay, that's for you.
I mean, I need to see what they, you know, I need to see what they did.
True. And I apologize for that. I'm doing sports dirtying, I guess, by only giving that much of the thing. Let's move on. All right, last couple things I have. Other transfer news. Kulusevski, your boy Kulusevski, has signed for Spurs. What was it?
Yes.
£2 million? 1.5 million pounds? No, it's a steal. Whatever it was. Whatever it was a steal.
So there was an agreement in the original loan deal that would have been like automatically, or an option, I should say, that would have been automatically activated if Tottenham qualified for the Champions League. So they didn't. So we got a €5 million discount. They negotiated, I think it's 30 million instead of 35 million, which was what was in the loan agreement. It's paid out, I think it's 6 million over the next 5 years. So not a huge dent in any one season's budget. So yeah.
Great signing, I think. Great signing. Are you getting hyped about Postecoglou?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. Still waiting to see. I'm more excited about any departures than I am any signings.
Okay.
Just because, I mean, we're only gonna be playing in 2 to 3 maximum competitions at any one time. So, or I guess 1 to 3. So yeah, the squad needs to be shaved down quite a bit. I saw that what's his name? Højbjerg's potentially going back to Bayern Munich. I thought that would be think that would be an interesting move for him. And who was the big Madison?
Madison.
Allegedly the next one in.
It's a good signing.
And I saw that it was a competition between Newcastle and Tottenham. And I
think
one
Tottenham
of the
got it.
actually a couple of the journalists that I follow that are seem to be well connected said that he wanted to come to Tottenham. He preferred London over Newcastle, but also Spurs offered him better wages, which kind of threw me off because I wouldn't expect. I would just expect Newcastle to be like, okay, we'll pay a fee and then we're just gonna like throw money at you. So maybe they're being more reasonable than what I give them credit for in terms of their wages.
Also, possible Lloris replacement, David Raya.
Yes.
Great signing there as well. He says,
I'd
I have
love
ambitions
to
to
see
make the next step in my career. I want to win titles and to compete in Europe. So he's going
I don't
to
know where he's
Spurs.
going after, but he's already looking there.
There you go. That's a good signing. That is a good replacement for
He's a
Lloris.
homegrown, but he's also a Spanish international, so that's nice. Or he
Yeah.
would count as a homegrown player.
Okay, yeah. Big. That's big.
There
That's a
was,
big thing for United as well.
I don't know if you guys talked about it last week, but they had the new work permit rules.
Yeah, what is that? I
for-
saw you mention that. I don't know.
So they do work permits on like a point system.
Okay.
Like if you meet X amount of criteria, you get this many points, and you have to have
Okay.
15 points for your work permit to be approved. And they
individually.
Yes.
Okay.
So they had starting with this transfer window, all Premier League teams have they can sign 4 players that don't meet that threshold,
Okay.
and they can play. They're like
Interesting.
exempt. And then I think at Championship, has 3, and League 1 and League 2 have 2 of those spots. So a lot of MLS writers that I follow, it's a big deal because work permits are a big hurdle, I guess, for younger Americans that could play in Europe.
Oh, that's right. I did hear about this.
So they're saying, oh, they can just go if they're really good enough. They could take one of those 1 or 2 spots or 3 spots if they're in the Championship. And prove themselves.
I heard about this,
know-
and there people were saying like Brighton's gonna win the Champions League next year. Like in 2 years, because
So
they
do you not think
they probably have
that-
so many lined up.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
But they'll use a lot of those slots for a South American player.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Agreement between Bayern and Kim Min-jae is at its final stages, according to Fabrizio Romano. 5-year deal. Release costs will become valid on July 1st. So, United taking another L there, GG's. What else do we have? Oh, Kovacic apparently going as the Gundogan replacement. Gundogan has officially been released, I believe. He's on the release list for Man City, so he's out. But he could, they could sign him again. It's possible. But yeah, I think Kovacic is looking likely to be going there. Victor Roque to Barcelona. Stefan calls him the Ronaldo Nazario regen. Unbelievable.
I thought that was Joselu.
Joselu, yeah, Joselu did Madrid as well.
Yep.
Okay, we got a little bit of time left. Speaking of clubs that need to sell, Chelsea needs to sell obviously by June 30th. Lyon is in a bit of trouble. They need to raise 60 million in 12 days. Let me pull up the picture. Where is it?
I think
We
it might
already
be
have it.
10 days now, and they haven't sold anyone yet. So, um, yeah,
So yeah,
they're
so you want to talk about that a little bit, Hoff?
yeah. I'm not sure why they need to raise them. I don't know if it's something with the French Federation. They need to have more money in their bank account. I don't know what the actual reasoning is.
Okay. So you're
Um,
possible people that could be sold for cheap: Ryan Cherky, Bradley
mhm.
Barcola, Castello, Luqueba, Sinali, Diomande, and Thiago Mendes. So those could be
And
big movements.
Mendez is 30, but the other four guys are all super young. Like Cherky is 19 years old, and he's really good. Someone is going to get a great player for them. But I mean, Leon's academy has been one of the best over the last 20 years.
Yeah.
They just consistently produce good players. Um,
Yeah.
but
So
whoever,
yes.
yeah, Shirky is the one. Wherever he goes, he'll probably be. It would. I'm trying to like think of. I'm trying to think of something similar that's happened before, but I can't think of someone that's needed to sell players and they've got like a great player for he won't be sold for 5 million, but like for 10 million, 20 million, because I mean Leon's not in a great negotiating position because
Right.
everyone knows like, oh, you need money, well, we'll give you 20 million for this player that's worth probably 40, 50 million at
Yeah.
19 years old. But yeah, there's some really good players there. Yeah, and you can see his stats. And I was looking at his players that FBRF compares to. Look at that list.
It's good company. That's
And
good
he's
company.
19 years old. And granted, he's playing in Ligue 1, but still, like,
Pep will
that's
snap him up.
I saw that list, and those are the players most similar to him statistically. Obviously, they're not all like the same physical size or build, but
Yeah.
I saw that similarity list, and whoever gets him, I'm gonna be sad he's leaving Leon, and I'm just sad Leon's in this position to begin with, but
All
I'm
right.
looking forward to seeing where he ends up because he's so young and he's going to develop even more. If he stays on his trajectory, he's going to be one of the best in the world. He's really good.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. He's been like a, what's it called? What's it called? When the kids, the young
The Wonder Kid.
wonder kid. He's been a wonder kid
Yeah.
for like years, right? How old is he?
Yeah.
20.
He's 19. He
Oh,
just
he's-
turned 19 this year.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Last but not least, guys, a farewell. C'est la vie? Does that mean bye or something? What did I just say there?
That means it. That's
See you
it.
later.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think. It
C'est
means
la
that's
vie
it,
to
doesn't it?
Martin Tyler.
Oh yeah.
Martin Tyler, the greatest commentator of my lifetime. The sound of football in my ears
I mean, I don't
is
feel this.
retiring.
I mean, great commentator. He'll be missed from Sky, but I assume he's still going to be working elsewhere.
So Sky apparently had to do a bunch of cuts. Jeff Shreves is having to take a cut. Everyone they have a bunch of budget cuts. So I think Martin Tyler's like, I'm just out of here. I'm out of here.
But honestly, Brian Moore, no one will ever beat Brian Moore for me.
Right. Now for you, it's
The
yeah,
best.
different. But yeah, for me, and I think probably for a lot of people,
Only because of the
time.
social media and the Premier League era and the way that footage has been accessible to the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
That's
Absolutely.
why he's your voice for sure. I get it.
But it's not just okay. It's you know how like when you hear Jamie Redknapp talk, you know it's a Jerry Redknapp, or like when you hear Gary Neville talk, you know it's Gary Neville. Martin Tyler is like, it's just such a it's like a cream, like a nice creamy voice. You know, it's like
but you don't have
I like this. I like the sound on my ears.
But you only have that era to compare it to.
Oh, absolutely.
He's also been the voice. I think, I don't know if it's been. I haven't read any articles about it or anything, but he's also been the voice in FIFA for years.
True. It was
huge.
Andy Gray and Martin Tyler. Yeah.
Martin Tyler's not the voice of FIFA now.
Not now. I'm talking about growing up. I'm just talking about growing up.
Before him, John Motson and Ali McCoist were the commentary team.
And that would be your Martin Tyler, maybe. You know, or like you said more. You said more.
Yeah, I like Moddy. I like Moddy. All right. I prefer Tyler to Motson, but Brian Moore was my favorite. Just had me on the edge of my seat.
All right. I'm just expressing my personal feelings towards the guy. Okay, I'm not trying to say he's the best or whatever.
Next commentator, we'll forget about like Martin Tyler. You know. Whatever.
What's your favorite moment from Martin Tyler commentary? 16-year-old Wayne Rooney against Arsenal. That one? Is that your favorite one?
No.
Or maybe it's Makeda.
It will be one of the countless Henry goals.
Henry. Oh yes. What did he said something. Oh yes. What was that one? Henry?
There's been so many of them.
Maybe it was Ronaldo. Yes. I can't remember. I mean, I've heard majority Ronaldo ones. Oh yeah, Martial as well. He came on as an 18-year-old against Liverpool in his debut.
He had the Aaron Lennon
that's what it was.
Goal in the 4-4, the North London derby. The David Bentley scored from midfield. He had he was calling that game. I remember that one. That was a good call. But I mean, I think the one I remember the most is the Aguero,
yeah, whatever.
That's I mean that's a tap in, but I mean it's classic.
Oh yeah, it's not about the tap. It's about the it's about the type, and like it's not just that, right? He says it, and then he doesn't say anything for like 15, 20 seconds. Sometimes not, like. We're talking about his heir, right? His heir to the heir to. I kind of mentioned that as I found out this news, and then the next day they announced Peter Drury. He's taken over. Yeah. Peter Drury is a different style of commentator. Peter Drury is like a he would have like a 1 minute beautiful spiel, like a soliloquy after Aguero scored or something, But Martin Tyler was more just like Aguero. You'll never see it again or something. I can't remember what he said, but like it's a different style. But I still prefer Martin Tyler's voice. It's like a twinkly old uncle or something. Something like that. Oh, the Boateng when he destroyed Boateng. Yep. That was a good one. The Risa free kick. Yep. Drury is a poet. Tyler is a New Yorker in traffic at 5 p.m. Yeah, Tyler is more like relatable. Like he seems more like, like your uncle or something. Peter Drury's like a Oxford, Oxford.
Professor.
Yeah, like way up there. Like I'll let you do your thing. I'm not gonna approach you, sir. Anyways. I also wrote discusses alleged biases because I'm always reminded that he is a massive United fan, apparently. And Sacco showed me a video of how he does not celebrate other teams' goals as much as he does United's. But anyways, it is what it is.
Another reason why you love him so much.
Maybe. But I am completely unbiased. We all know this.
Yeah.
Should we do a quiz?
Yep.
You want to do a
let's
quiz?
do it. We got 15 questions on the 2017-2018 season.
Oh my God.
Of the Premier League.
27.
So recent memory. 2017 to 18. Yeah. So no excuses for Cart. He has to win tonight because he said last week that was the only reason he didn't win.
I mean, I missed one of the ones I could have got. I'll just put it that way. Okay, hold on. Let me get my bearings right. Okay. I think I'm okay.
Do you want to do sound effects, or do you want to do?
Sound effects.
Do you want to do? Yeah, do sound effects. So
Okay.
in the Discord, you've got your
Hold
buzzer.
on, I gotta go to.
So we're gonna do. What should we do? Air horn versus drum. I tell you, I haven't finished adding effects, but one of you could be. Just damn it, Milo. Jack.
Is it loud enough
Yeah.
for you guys? Can you hear?
I mean, I can hear it.
Okay. Your call. I mean, whatever. I'll go with the air horn.
Okay, so Cart's gonna be the air horn.
Really?
It's quiet for the guys in
Okay.
chat.
Let's just do a word then. Let's say it.
Let's do a word.
If you want to, yeah.
All right.
That's fine.
We'll do it. All right, Cart, you will be Martin Tyler.
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
And Hoff, you will be Peter Drury.
Peter.
So you
Peter.
can say
Martin.
Drury, you can say Peter, and Cart, you can say Martin or Tyler if you prefer.
Okay. I'm
All right.
closing
So those are your
chat.
activation
Close
words. Are you ready?
chat. All right.
Oh,
Chat's closed.
yeah.
There we go.
Chat, feel free to join in, but they can't see you. So,
Yeah.
but you'll, yeah.
Just say their
right.
name if someone gets it right. Don't say the answer. You know. Chat's name.
Yes. All right. In which month did Crystal Palace score their first goal of the season that year?
Brewery.
Go on, Huff.
October.
October is correct.
Good guess. That's what I was gonna guess as well.
All
I mean, there's
right.
yeah. September didn't seem memorable. November
Culture
seems
got it.
unlikely.
Culture got it as well.
Nice.
Question 2. Who were the only team to win the majority of their points away from home?
Tyler.
Go on.
United.
Incorrect.
Oh.
17, 18.
Oh.
Drury.
Go on.
Chelsea.
Incorrect. The correct
West Ham?
answer. No, the correct answer was Burnley.
Oh.
They only won 7 away points. This season they won 7 away matches. So,
Okay.
all right, we got question 3. Which goalkeeper made 1 save in the league what does it mean last season? I must be talking about the year before. Okay. So which goalkeeper made 1 save the year before and 111 in this 17-18 season?
Okay.
So he made 1 save in the league in 16-17, but 111 saves. So obviously a keeper that didn't play the year before.
Yeah.
I'll give you a clue. He sat on the bench for a team the year before and then played every minute for a new team in this season. Negative chat so far.
Man.
I'll go with Henderson. Oh, Tyler Henderson.
Incorrect.
No.
And you would have been voided for not saying Tyler.
Sorry.
You can have a stab at it. Hoff.
He hasn't been there that long. Well, okay, I'll say Kepa. I know he wasn't there then.
It was Asmir
Rams-
Begovic.
Oh, I was thinking. You know what? I thought Kudicini for some reason. I thought some Chelsea something. He went to Stoke.
You'd probably get there eventually,
Went
to be honest.
Bournemouth.
So yeah, he basically sat on the bench for Chelsea and then the following season played every minute of every game for Bournemouth.
Bournemouth, yeah.
So yeah,
That's right.
there you go. Yeah.
Tough one. Good
You
one.
were thinking of Almunia, Socko, maybe? Someone like that? Or Fabianski? All right. Tottenham finished the season as the highest placed team from London. Who was their manager when they last achieved that feat?
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a tricky one for Carr.
Yeah.
And for you, although you are.
That...
I'll give you a clue.
Okay.
That was the first time since 94, 95. I just wanted to rub
Holy
that in.
shit.
Okay. Is he kind of
94,
known?
95?
He's known, yeah, definitely
Okay.
known. Yeah.
94, 95.
I'm gonna take a stab at it.
Oh,
Go
go
on.
ahead.
Huddle.
Not Hoddle.
That's a good guess, actually.
Not a bad guess, though. Yeah, I like that.
Shit, was it George Graham?
It was not. It was
Damn.
Jerry Francis. Jerry Francis.
Jerry,
that was a tough one.
I was gonna say that next.
Yeah,
Jeez.
that is a tough one.
I mean, they promised me this quiz was on the 17-18 season, but you see how they tied that into the
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's fair. I think me and Hoff
It is,
both
yeah,
are.
I guess so. All right. 9 clubs changed their managers during this season. Which of them brought in a permanent replacement with no previous experience of managing in England? And if you're really stumped, I'll tell you who it is. Like, I'll tell you the name of the manager, not the team.
Wait. We have to guess the team, right?
Yes, so 9 clubs changed their manager during the 17-18 season in the Prem, which brought in a permanent replacement with no previous experience of managing in England. So everyone else hired somebody else that had managed in England before.
Okay.
17, 18.
Oh, I'll guess just because it's a meme at this point. Drury.
Go on.
Watford.
It is Watford. Yavi Gracia. Yavi
Yes.
Gracia.
Oh my god.
He had managed
Nice
in
one.
Spain, Greece, and Russia, but not in England.
Wow. Nice
These
one.
Tough questions.
Yeah.
Question 6. Who did Jose Mourinho proclaim manager of the season in early April?
I'm just gonna take a guess. Tyler.
Yes.
Nuno?
No.
I think I gave it away. I'm
Huh?
playing mind games now.
If you don't get it, Hoff, I'll give you both a clue and you can have another crack.
Was it Klopp?
Was not Klopp. So,
Okay.
remember, yell out your name if you want to answer, if you do get it from this. This guy was the manager of Swansea. And what Mourinho said is this guy is going to keep Swansea in the Premier League.
Drury.
Oh.
Bob Bradley?
No.
Tyler.
Go on.
Is it Flores?
It's not. It's Carlos Carvajal.
Fuck.
Ooh.
I don't remember that guy. Damn.
Or these are tough questions, guys.
Yeah, this
Sorry.
is tough.
No, that's
All
fine.
right, question 7. Which of these managers, not which of these managers, because I'd have to read them out. Which manager had a 0% win percentage in 17-18?
Oh my gosh.
There is a manager with a 0%, and it wasn't Frank Lampard. Just going out.
Nice. Oh, okay.
Where are you looking, Huff? Where are you looking over there? Don't look over there.
I have a huge monitor.
Oh, that's what we're calling it these days. I have a
Drury.
huge-
Go on, Hoff.
They didn't score until October. Frank de Boer was there.
De Boer is correct. Even Joby knew.
Unbelievable.
Joby's just going with the chat. I just see Joby put De Boer. I know for a fact he doesn't know who that is.
Because then he went to Atlanta. He was just bad. He's not. not good.
Cultured, brown, don't care, Socko, extreme, Sani Arthur, they all got it. They
They're all
got that
Googling.
one.
Go ahead. Keep going.
They're all Googling, did you
Yeah,
say?
yeah.
All right. Which player scored against all of the top 6 clubs? City, United, Tottenham, Liverpool, Chelsea, and Arsenal.
Ooh. Well, it can't be a player from one of those 6, so that helps.
Tyler.
Go on.
Vardy.
Jamie Vardy is correct.
Oh, get in!
There it is. He's on the board. He's on the
Oh my
board.
god.
Okay, that one's silly. Who said this about the vacant managerial role at Everton?
Ooh.
It would have been a fabulous job, but it just didn't feel right. It just never materialized as I thought it would. And spoiler alert, he ended up taking the job anyway.
Oh. Tyler.
Go on.
Is this Ancelotti?
No.
Oh. It's too early.
Drury?
Go on.
Rafa? Benitez?
No. The answer was Sam Allardyce.
Oh, of course.
I always
Oh,
call
he
him
ended up
Fat
taking-
Sam, but it's Big Sam.
He ended up taking it now. Or wait.
No, he took it
He
that
took
season.
it. He took it then.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he took the job in the end, saying, "I'm delighted I've come back into a club of this magnitude, size, and history." But
my God,
after
everything
he
just-
said, "Yeah,
Everything is just smushed together in my mind, man. The timeline is so hard to separate. All right, here we go.
yeah," what did Lewis Dunk do against Man City, Man United, Liverpool, and Swansea?
Tyler.
Go on.
Own goal?
Correct.
Oh!
Correct. He equaled Martin Skirtle's record from 2013-14 for scoring 4 own goals in a season.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
There's someone this season that did that. Was it the guy from Leicester? Long hair.
Oh, Faze?
Faze.
Fast?
He had the
Yeah.
most goals for Chelsea or something.
Yeah.
Or something.
I like this question, and we should use this phrase more often. Who declared himself the proudest man in Proudsville during the season?
I mean, I have a guess for like, and I'm just imagining managers saying this, or you know,
Okay.
and I'll tell you who my guess was for who I wanted it to be.
Okay.
After we guess, you know.
All right.
Proudest man in Proudsville.
Yeah, he declared himself the proudest man in Proudsville.
And I have someone who I really hope this isn't as well.
Okay.
Proudest man in Proudsville. I mean, it sounds like I'm just gonna go ahead. Coffee, you have a guess?
Yeah. Okay. Drury.
Drury.
Solskjaer?
Not Solskjaer.
Has the answer been said today? You can't tell me. They can't tell me. I was gonna say Bob Bradley.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping it isn't.
Okay, so what's your guess, though?
Bob Bradley.
Bob Bradley is incorrect.
Okay.
The correct answer is Sean Dyche.
That was who I wanted it to be. That was who I wanted it to be. I swear to God, that was who I wanted it to be.
Why didn't you answer that then?
Because I would. It does not sound like a Sean Dyche thing.
Stefan and Extreme got it. Dyche had an eventful season. That season, a pub in Burnley was named the Royal Dyche in his honor. And in less appetizing news, he also had to deny allegations that he eats worms. Do you remember this?
Oh, yeah.
You remember this? Yeah. He had to deny that he eats worms, saying it was a bit of banter I used to have. You get a nice, juicy, big worm hanging out your mouth. It wobbles, wriggling around, looks as if you're chewing it, and then spit it out.
That's like in my mind. I saw him say that, but I didn't go with it because I never thought it would be him. It sounded like a very like
All right.
American thing to say, like, you know, Proudsville.
Last question. Cart, you need it to tie.
Oh,
Man City defeated every side they faced in the league at some point this season. So did which other club?
Man City defeated every team. at one point in the season.
Yeah, so either home or away, one of them.
Another team did that as well. Tyler.
Go on.
Liverpool?
Incorrect.
Ah.
Drury.
Go on.
I think I've been thinking of the wrong season this whole time. Is it Tottenham?
It's not Tottenham. The answer
Chelsea.
is Man United.
Oh.
It in brackets, it's a kind of a dig. In brackets, it says United, however, managed to lose against all 3 promoted teams.
They're playing. It's the highlight of their life. Come on, they're gonna play the.
Listen.
It's the highlight of those teams' lives.
It just, I don't know who wrote the quiz.
They could have died the next day. We were handing out charity points to everybody. You know.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Oh, that was good. That was good.
Yeah.
That was
That's
good.
it. That's it.
Oh man,
All right,
Sean
that was
Dyche.
tough questions there, but
I gotta
well
find
done.
out. Oh wow, we're a little over time. Nice one, man.
We are. So that
Good.
was 3-2 to half.
Well played, Hoff. You know, your eyes were wandering a little bit, but I'll let it slide. You know,
Oh, he's throwing accusations.
Allegations.
it's mind games for next week. You know. But yeah, thanks for joining, guys. Anything else you guys want to mention before we leave?
You know what's funny? We were there was concern amongst our group chat about content for summer shows, and we've gone over the 2 hours.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think for the quiz we got a lot of little extra time. That's good though. That's good. I like the quiz.
Yeah. As long as I prepare, I can usually make it one that'll last that long.
I'll get in, and I'll try to. We should all get one in as well. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alrighty. Well, yeah, we're a little over time, so we'll talk about this stuff next time. Dad joke away?
Yeah. You ready?
Yeah.
Why didn't Han Solo enjoy his steak dinner? It was too chewy.
Ooh. The steak. You're
Yes.
bringing up steaks again.
Yeah. There you go. We are going to be sponsored by steak next week.
As we are. Get on the phone.
Forget Chelsea. It'll be us.
Oh man, how great would a steak sponsor be? What if we move this thing to Kick? What do you think?
Oh.
Multi-stream.
Yeah, what if one of
Yeah.
you guys streamed it on Kick?
I mean,
I need to set up an account on there.
I mean, I have an account, but I haven't used it obviously. But why
my
not?
oh my.
Anyways, alrighty guys.
All right. See you next time. Thanks, Carl.
We'll see you. We'll
Thanks,
see
chat.
ya.
Adios.